Well, the fun is underway at the Convention Center as the Essence Fest celebrates its 30th year. This year, it's projected to bring in about $300 million to New Orleans. Local advocates are hoping some of that cash is spent at Black-owned restaurants after they say an event last month did not do enough to include the community that creates that culture. Alyssa Curtis has more on the critiques of Restaurant Week and how Essence Fest could serve as a turning point.
Even on a rainy day, familiar faces can be found ordering their favorites at Vaucressan's.
We wanted to make sure that even though this area was going through gentrification, that we had representation.
But despite being a community staple, Vaucressan's wasn't included in this year's Restaurant Week New Orleans. The organization that puts it on, the Louisiana Restaurant Association, says you have to be a member to be included. But Vance Vaucresson says they are.
I saw promotions for Restaurant Week. I knew that. But I didn't know if there was a specific solicitation. And if we were not, I'd like to talk to the representatives that I communicate with and say, please, how can we, help you to know how to communicate better?
In fact, almost no Black-owned restaurants were. This year's Restaurant Week New Orleans featured 83 restaurants. Only one was Black-owned. Jalence Isles, founder of Where Black Nola Eats, says that's unacceptable.
Make the campaign representative of the city.
With a majority Black population, according to the U.S. Census, Isles believes more should be done to invest in those who create the culture that makes New Orleans what it is.
What are you here for? Are you here to perpetuate the disparity, or do you actually want to sell the New Orleans culture?
She says Restaurant Week isn't the only opportunity to highlight Black-owned restaurants, though. She says the city should do more to spread out tourism dollars during events like Essence Fest.
They complain about, oh my goodness, we're going to have to wait in lines and lines and lines. Well, you know what? You could actually take a quick ride share, 10 to 15 minutes out from the city center and have no lines and really come here and make a huge economic impact.
Vaucresson says he's going to be more proactive about doing what he can to be included in events like Restaurant Week. But he says New Orleans is a melting pot, and that should always be celebrated.
If we take that stance in regards to making sure that business and that playing field and that contribution is even, all of our visitors, they see a diverse representation.
Alyssa Curtis, WWL Louisiana.
In a statement to WWL Louisiana, the Louisiana Restaurant Association said, quote, they distribute Restaurant Week specific email solicitations to encourage member registration and participation. Well, we asked how many Black-owned New Orleans restaurants or base restaurants are members, and we didn't get an answer. Now, you can visit Where Black Nola Eats on Facebook or Instagram to get a great list of restaurants to visit during Essence Fest or really anytime.